Welcome to the Me the Money Show with Markets Media. I'm Dan Barnes, Editorial Director for Markets Media Europe. I'm joined by Terry Flanagan, Editor at Markets Media. Terry, could you tell us what's happening with the Markets Choice Awards this year, please?
Sure, Dan. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Coming up on our 8th year Markets Choice Award. We started this in 2013 and really has grown a number of years into a banner event. We've had 250, 300 people at these events, typically a number of categories across really what we cover on an editorial basis, which is trading, technology, and institutional capital markets and how it all comes together. The buy side, sell side, who's the best buy side trading desk in different asset classes, who are the best technology providers, who are the best broker dealers, a lot of individual awards too. So really coming up this year, we're working on the program. The main difference this year is that we're holding, due to circumstances beyond our control, we're holding digital program. So the plan is, rather than a live event, we're going to have a 3-part digital program kicking off on April 30th. We will most likely follow this up within a live event sometime later in the year, but that's the plan right now.
That sounds great. And are there any differences in the categories this year or types of firms might be entering?
Right. There's always some variation from year to year, because the way we do it, we go out with a number of kind of what we call cornerstone categories: best equity buy-side trading desk, lifetime achievement, CEO, best order management system, execution management system. And then we work with what the market tells us. So we hear through the nominations, we open up our website for nominations from our readers. That's the first step in the process. Get a lot of information back, and then we take that information and look more closely at what people say. And so some of the categories that we come out with to begin with won't be the categories you see at the end, but it's based on what the market tells us. So some of the exciting categories, the bigger categories that we've really put out for shortlist recently: CEO of the year, and also a leadership category with that. For example, we have some of the nominees: Vijay Kedia, who's CEO of Flex Trade, a big name in the EMS, OMS space; Rick McVeigh, CEO of Market Access, big fixed income trading platform. We have David Rutter of R3, Bob Santella of IPC, also Joe Wald of Clearpool, big trading technology provider, just recently acquired by BMO. Also, right now in the lifetime category, we have Martin Chavez, formerly of Goldman Sachs, really did a lot in trading technology and capital markets. Colm Kelleher was one of the very senior people at Morgan Stanley, also great, significant achievements on Wall Street. Jill Summers, formerly of CFTC. Bill Stone, CEO of SS&C Technology. So a lot of really solid individuals that we're going to be bringing into the program.
That's great, thank you. I mean, if firms are looking to enter this year, what sort of advice can you give them?
Well, the advice is always, when we go out for really one of the first steps when we hear from our readers on who we should be looking at, and the first step is nominations. We reach out to the companies or the individuals and say, you've been nominated for this program, for this category. Can you provide us with some thumbnail information as to what might support this nomination? So we ask just what your firm is all about. We also do generally kind of look at like the last year achievements. So we have these Markets Choice Awards on an annual basis. So the awards are meant to be viewed through a year prism. So we're looking at in 2020 right now. In general sense, we're looking at who really accomplished things in 2019 until now. So we ask them to provide some information, just some thumbnail information about what are the most compelling things that we should be looking at. So getting back to your question, really, just provide some good info. Don't be over the top. Just give us some ideas of what you're all about, and we'll explore that further.
And do you think the recent market volatility will have created some interesting potential nominees?
It's certainly, we are hearing that this market's been very different over the past couple of months. We are hearing some folks have distinguished themselves both in a technology perspective and buy side, really across capital markets. So we are hearing that as part of the the information process, some of the information gathering process. Some of the nominations were already in before this started, but we have definitely heard a good amount of information specific to this market we've been seeing recently. So,
Terry, what can you tell us about past winners for these awards?
yeah, well, typically, Dan, we get the program has grown over the years. We used to have about 20 something awards, and now more recently we've been up to 30 something. Some really really strong folks, both in individually and firm wide basis. We've had J.P. Morgan Asset Management, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs Asset Management in the trading desk space. And for individual categories, it's been really strong as well. Last year, we had Leo Lesky, CEO of TradeWeb, as CEO of the year. Andy Brooks, formerly head trader at T. Rowe Price for Lifetime Achievement. Previous to that, some of the Lifetime Achievement Award winners, Terry Duffy of CME, very well-known guy, Larry Thompson, DTCC, Barbara Novick, one of the original founders of BlackRock, CEO of the year. We've had Michelle Neal of BNY Mellon, Jen Nayar of Vela. So some really solid names we've had over the years as the program has built, has grown, and we expect to further that this year.
That's great. Excellent. Terry, thanks very much.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me.